may say to yourself, well, those aren't the rules. There are no refs in this game. Fuck the rules. We are going to win whatever it takes. We're going to take this to them in every way that we can.
Well, that backfired because apparently there are rules and laws in Texas. So what you see on the screen is from the Attorney General ordering Beto O'Rourke into contempt of court. The man you saw screaming on the screen, he's being accused of fundraising for those Democrats who fled Texas.
And we're going to try to hold out as long as we can, do absolutely everything we can, but we're human beings.
And those Democrats are running out of money. And now that the organization who was raising money for them is in big trouble, those Democrats will have to come back eventually. Now, before we start the video, make sure to please like this video. It's the #1 way you guys are helping this channel, but it also helps others see the videos as well. And I think people need to be informed on what's going on with these Texas Democrats.
Understand that we are keeping receipts for every gallon of gas, every mile traveled, and every hour of overtime associated with the pursuit of these missing members. Under Rule 5, Section 3 of the House Rules, those breaking quorum will be held financially responsible for the costs they've created, not the taxpayers. To those absent members, you can go to another city, another state, even another time zone, but you cannot escape your responsibility to the people of Texas. Eventually, you will be here.
Now, at the time of making this video, despite all of these financial threats, nothing has been done to these Democrats, which means none of the Democrats have returned. Nobody has been arrested, nobody has actually been fined, and again, some Republicans are pretty upset about this.
Hey, howdy neighbors, Brian Harrison here, just walking off the floor of the Texas House where our so-called Republican speaker delivered another sternly worded warning to the Democrats that they better come back. Otherwise, he will issue another sternly worded warning on Friday. That's right, Friday. It's Tuesday, but on Friday. He is not even going to pretend to make the Democrats come back for 3 more days. Guys, this is it.
This is Brian Harrison, by the way. He is a Texas lawmaker. He has really gained a lot of fame and momentum around this movement, really exposing the fact that you guys are hearing about all of these threats and the arrest warrants. Nothing has happened. So he's really been exposing what's really going on the House floor in Texas.
It's unserious, and it would be comical if it wasn't so consequential, what we're dealing with right here. We're trying to redistrict. We're trying to do something that could literally shape the future of Texas and the country. We could control who the United States Congress falls in the hands of. But instead of actual results, instead of actual action, which is what the voters, the hardworking, patriotic, overtaxed men and women of the state of Texas, they want results. They can't just not show up for their jobs. They'd be fired. Well, so far, exactly 0 punishments of any kind that are serious have been meted out to these Democrats, but just enough hot air, quite frankly, to fuel a fleet of jets. You've been betrayed. You deserve better, and I'll keep giving you updates, but it looks like this special session is just about over, and very unlikely the Democrats are going to be bothered to show up. So,
okay, so now that you have a baseline of what's currently going on, here's why Beto O'Rourke is in trouble. So basically, he was told you need to stop fundraising in Texas in order to support the Democrats who fled Texas. So he decides over the weekend, I'm going to make this speech and tell everybody to F the rules. There are no rules.
We're not going to let him stop us. Are you with me on that? Ándale. It also means, as Mark was saying earlier, we don't await the punch thrown by these would-be fascists to land. We punch first, and we punch harder. We want California and New Jersey and Illinois and Maryland and every other state where the Democrats hold the governor's mansion, the assembly, and the state senate to redraw their congressional districts now, not wait for Texas to move first, to maximize Democratic Party advantage. Listen, you may say to yourself, well, those aren't the rules. There are no refs in this game. F the rules. We are going to win whatever it takes. We're going to take this to them in every way that we can.
Okay, like I said at the beginning of the video, there are rules. You can't just say, F the rules, I don't care. So basically, like I said before, he was already warned, you gotta stop fundraising for these Democrats because you're getting into the realm of bribery. Well, he did that speech, they are still fundraising, and because of that, now Attorney General Ken Paxton takes action to hold Robert Francis O'Rourke in contempt for violating court order and scamming Texans. Now, in the order, it details less than 24 hours after the temporary restraining order was signed, telling him to not fundraise for these Democrats, he told a crowd of hundreds in Fort Worth that he could continue fundraising in violation of the restraining order because there are no refs in this game, F the rules. So that was actually put inside of this court order. Again, you guys can leave your comments down below how you feel about this, but now that these Democrats won't be getting some money from people like Robert O'Rourke and this organization fundraising, they seem to be sweating just a little bit. Real quick, before we continue, make sure to please subscribe to my channel so I can keep you guys up to date with this story. We don't know what's going to happen with these Democrats. We've never seen anything like this, and if they are arrested, I want to make sure I update you guys immediately. So make sure to please subscribe for more information on this story.
So, Gene, based on what you're saying, should we anticipate that this is going to go on for another couple of weeks with Texas lawmakers, Democratic lawmakers, staying out of state and breaking quorum?
Yeah, we're doing our absolute best to hold on, and it's not easy. And like you all said before, we have lots of expenses, lots of fees. People are calling in bomb threats. People are threatening to use the FBI on us. They're harassing our families back in Texas. They're trying to break into people's houses. They're trying to do all sorts of things to try to get us.
Now, I do want to add some context. I want to be clear here. I don't think it's right to threaten others, but the reason why people are very emotional, especially from the state of Texas, is because right now there are people not getting their flood victim money or flood victim relief. So this is a problem for a lot of Texans. Even for the people who've not been affected by this flood, they're obviously a little more emotional or very upset with these Democrats who fled the state. So I thought it's very important to give this context. It's not only about redrawing the lines, there are people out there who need money and help, and they're not getting it.
This is a lot of stress on not only us, but on our families and our loved ones. We're not Republicans. We're not wealthy. Most of us are working class people, right? And there's members who they live paycheck to paycheck. And that's the reality for most Americans. And we're going to try to hold out as long as we can, do absolutely everything we can. But we're human beings. At some point, we can't go on, but we're trying to buy enough time that other people come in and fight with us. And we're asking all Americans and all Texans, I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican or nothing at all, either fight for what you believe in, fight for America that believes in fairness, hard work, or it's over.
Now, what's interesting about that interview is that the Democrat leader didn't necessarily ask specifically directly for money, but he definitely said we do need some help and we do need some support, even appealing to Republicans. Now, I do just want to point out he was asking for help from Republicans on MSNBC. I think he would have had a better chance of that going on Fox News, but let's continue.
And to be clear, Florida is already in this thing. We know that Texas is in this thing. We know that they're putting pressure on Indiana as well as Missouri. So here's the deal. They have already decided that the only way that they can win, because they have failed policies, is by making sure that they can cheat their way. And while they're cheating their way, the only way that they can do that is while they also at the same time violate the Constitution as well as the Voting Rights Act and make sure that it's people of color. We're talking about them going after Clyburn in South Carolina. We're talking about them going after Andre Carson in Indiana. We're talking about them going after Reverend Cleaver in Missouri. We're talking about them going after Amelia Sykes in Ohio. We're talking about them coming for 3 of the 4 Black representatives that we currently have in the state of Texas. So don't tell me this isn't about race when they are clear about who it is that will lose the most when it comes to having their say-so on the federal level. They are absolutely systemically making sure that they roll back all that was fought for, bled for, and died for as relates to those that came before us.
Now, even though Jasmine Crockett is not one of those Democrats who fled the state of Texas, she is a Democrat who is severely under risk of losing her position as a congresswoman in the next election. This is because her district will extend and she will have to go out, campaign, and try and hope that she can get some more momentum and votes in the next election, which is why she has been on TV a lot recently, making this into a very big problem and trying to stir some hype and support for her cause.
As a bigger picture item, which is what's unusual about this is that you're attempting to do it in 2025 as opposed to waiting till the end of the decade, as normally is when the redistricting takes place. You've explained the Supreme Court decision that led you to do this. But what's going on, obviously, is not happening in Texas, is not happening in a vacuum. We have Democrats in California and New York and other states saying, well, if Governor Abbott does this in Texas, we're going to add 5 Democratic seats. Are you not worried at all about a redistricting, gerrymandering arms race going on? And theoretically, is it not just better for voters to be picking their politicians instead of politicians to be picking their voters through gerrymandering?
Now, don't worry. I know what some of you are thinking. Hold on. Democrats have already been doing this. I actually have some clips, we'll get to that later, where 2 Democrat governors get called out for doing this exact same thing. But first, let's hear the response from Greg Abbott. I promise. Please stick around. You're going to think those responses are hilarious from the Democrats who get called out.
Well, to be clear, listen, all those big blue states, they've already gerrymandered. Look at the map of Illinois. Look at the map of California, New York, and Massachusetts, and so many other blue states. They gerrymandered a long time ago. They got nothing left with regard to what they can do. And know this, if California tries to gerrymander 5 more districts, listen, Texas has the ability to eliminate 10 Democrats in our state. We can play that game more than they can because they have fewer Republican districts in their states.
I mean, this has been the majority response from pretty much everyone watching this. Why are these Democrats so upset for what's happening in Texas? And then they go to Illinois, New York, California, when those states do the exact same thing. Now, finally, the moment everyone has been waiting for, the governor of Illinois gets called out straight to his face about this issue.
I do want to look at the map of Illinois. Let's take a look at this. Despite President Trump winning 44% of the statewide vote in 2024, Republicans hold only 3 of Illinois' 17 districts. These districts seem to be designed to maximize Democratic advantage. What do you say to those who argue that it's hypocritical for you to criticize Texas for partisanship when your state also drew maps to boost your party's standing?
Well, remember that what Texas is trying to do is, again, violate the Voting Rights Act. We didn't. We held public hearings, legislative hearings. People attended them. They spoke out. There was a map that was put out. There were actually changes made to the map. And a map was passed, and it was done at the end of the census, the decennial census. So that's how it's done in this country.
Here's how National Review summarized it. They said it was only 3 years ago that New York's Democratic legislature drew up a map so brazenly contemptuous of basic rules that govern a district's contiguousness that the state's Democrat-dominated Court of Appeals threw it out. The New York Times at the time called those maps comically contorted. That's their quote. So your state's highest court at the time, all the judges appointed by Democratic governors, they threw the maps out. So fair to say Democrats have done what they're now accusing Republicans of doing.
No, we followed the rules. We do it every 10 years. We base it on census.
But the court said you didn't follow the rules.
Well, we did follow the rules.
So the court was wrong?
Well, we followed the rules.
Here's how National Review summarized.
So leave your comments down below how you feel about her comments. One thing I do want to say about the governor of New York, look, I'm not a Democrat, but at least this Democrat is going on a Republican show or more right-leaning show to try and give her side of the story. I am still waiting for the others, the Democrats who support what's happening in Texas, as far as the Democrats fleeing Texas. Pretty much none of them have really gone on these conservative shows.
The stuff they file is so bizarre, so wrong. Like, our attorneys are like, we don't even know where to start to say every single thing that they're doing is just illegal and wrong and unconstitutional. It's like they're saying that, like, the American people are just too dumb to know what we're doing. We'll fool them. But, like, any cursory look at everything they're filed, from the stuff in California to the stuff in Illinois, even the stuff in Texas, is nonsense. And, like, these are adults that we elected to govern us, and they're just treating our country and our system of government like it's a joke. They're just using it to play around with, batting it back and forth like a kitten. It's insane that these people are our leaders.
So that is currently what's going on in Texas. I am very curious to see what's going to happen with this man right here going into contempt of court. Will they put him in jail? Are they going to fine him? Are they going to give him a slap on the wrist? Who knows at this point? Again, I do want to reiterate, no Democrats, none of them are in trouble. None of them have been arrested, no fines, nothing. There are warrants, there are strongly worded threats, but I am very curious. When these Democrats eventually do come back home to Texas, I don't know what's going to happen, if they're going to be arrested or not. That's why you have to subscribe to my channel so I can keep you guys updated. Thank you guys for everything. God bless, and we'll see you all later.